Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall is almost 11 o'clock on Friday night. I'm in a B&B. What's the name of it? Rossmore Manor B&B in just off near the roundabout where you get off the Letterkenny, the Bundoran to Letterkenny Road when you're heading for Donegal. 50 yards after getting off, you turn left and it's out. Good narrow road. You wouldn't like to meet anyone. I met someone this evening. I had to reverse. She wasn't able. My travelling companions are in the Loch Esk hotel. We got there about just gone 4 o'clock. They wanted to get there early because they were staying in a castle and they'd booked dinner at 6:45. So I'm picking them up at 9 a.m. in the morning and we're going to go to Slieve League and Killybegs and we're having lunch, or the plan is take them to lunch in the old castle pub there. We're in a couple of times during the summer, and then there's a switch of drivers and vehicle and they're heading to Belfast for 2 nights and Dublin for 2 nights, and change to a sprinter on, I think it's supposed to be Monday. I think it's Tuesday morning now. I think they're spending the day in Dublin on their own. We left Galway this morning, bid farewell to the Hurting Jokers at 10 o'clock. They'll lie in this morning. I didn't go back to bed either. I didn't feel tired, but I felt tired tonight. I had an hour there when I got in here this evening. But I was hoping to have a pint this evening, but I was too far out of town. Went back in again and walked about. Went into a couple of shops that I know people, and it's too far out, so I came out and I'm looking at videos and racing the last, must be 2 hours at it, I'd say. So waking up. We were in Knock today. They were very impressed with it. They'd be faithful religious people, but wouldn't be practicing Catholics, I'd imagine. I just get from their drift, but they were fiercely impressed with the basilica and the mural and the story about Knock itself. They were never aware of it until I informed them yesterday and today. And we pulled at W.B. Yeats's grave. Then the heat of snuff on that. But that a bigger heat on the meal they got in Yeats Tavern. Great stuff. I had the casserole and mashed potatoes and roast potatoes into it. Outstanding. I left a spoonful of spuds after me. I was ashamed of myself. First time I didn't clean the place in a long time. And they had all kinds of stuff, but they were delighted with it. And fair play to them, they treated me to lunch every single day that I ate with them. Or if I had the dinner 2 evenings with them, they treated me very decent. Good crack, great conversations in the car when they're awake. They do have the nap in the morning after a 15-minute chat. They do 4 heads back and little snoring, and then the chat again. The topic of conversation, I do change it around all the time. Horses haven't been discussed, only the Jarvies in Killarney. We had a non-runner today, Barraculla, and there was a Barnaculla, and there was a power of money for it during the day, and I don't know what the reason given for, because I thought the dry and ground would suit. We had Ayawal. It didn't look fit. You'd often hear the expression short to gallop. It looked to me, if it was short to gallop, that the fitter horse actually won the race, having the couple of runs recently. And the one in Down Royal, arch enemy, came there flattering to deceive, as they would put it, but didn't finish out his race at all. I looked at the other one sort of yesterday evening because it had won in Dundalk and ran well in it, but anyway, we go on again tomorrow. I have four stronger ones than a fifth one, but I'd stick in the fifth one because I think it has a chance to at least place. It's 12 to 1 shot. Well, I get out of the way. First race, the 150. Mile 6, good to soft. The choice is the Fav Master Builder. I'm sort of sweet enough on this book. tomorrow on his run in the Melrose in York. I like that form of that race every year. And horses that finish second, third, and fourth, and fifth a lot of the time go on to better things. The good to firm ground, I don't think, sort of suited the last year. But the good to soft, if it stays that way, and if it was softer, I'd prefer it because, as you can see, it won on soft ground in May in Salisbury. Beat Subsequent. That was a decent novice. That was a decent enough race. But then ran in the Melrose the last day. Ran in Kempton. The good ground or the good surface, I don't think was just as suitable. And ran well enough in the Melrose. Went off 12-1. But got into a spot of bother. That's him there, right? Keep an eye on him. Gets into a spot of bother. The front runners. He wouldn't have won in the position he was in, but he was badly positioned. But he had to jink. He was going to go right. Like an old good corner forward in his heyday, he'd say he pretended to go right and went left. That's exactly what he had to do. There's no pretense there, they just had to do it. 5-2 Fav, I like him. Onto the Old Borough Cup. Mile 6 race, class 2. Epic Poet is the selection. Again, ground. Good to soft. This used to be in France. And you can see when it won. Good to soft. Good to soft. Won a Lister race on heavy ground. When it came to England, behind Alazy, behind Hamish, behind Esther King. But I was turned the corner, I think, this year, big time in the handicaps. And there was cut in the ground that day. It was 5th to Ingefair. And then it ran in the Ebor, which was good to Firm the day of the Ebor, that Magical Zoe won. But it ran well enough. But I think the ground was the key. This is him here. If you keep an eye on him, runs well, but he's just not giving it. He's not giving it. He's like a tired horse, but I think it's the ground that was getting to him. That he was getting feeling the pinch of the good to firm ground, and with the surface with cut in it, I think it is a right each way shot on that race tomorrow. What price is it? 6-1, 11-2. Our buddy Divine Comedy is in it, but I think that might be better. Softer ground and at 2 mile. So Epic Poet is the selection. Bring us on to the race of the day. The Betfair Sprint Cup. Now, if you look at it at the top of the market, there's a lot of 3-year-olds. Elite Status 3-year-old. Give me the beat, or in a Sheraton 3-year-old. And Forte Bucanera Fuerte is a 3-year-old. That's actually rated 120, higher than in a Sheraton and Elite Status. But if you look 3-year-olds, you have to go back a few years for them. 5-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. Then you got a 3-year-old, 6-year-old. Then a 3-year-olds won it a scatter of times here. But like there were the 10-man Harry Angel, Quiet Reflection, Twilight Sun, G-Force. Is there one of them with that quality in the race? If it wins tomorrow, you have to say yes, there is. I'm going for a 4-year-old with known form this year, and that is the filly Swingalong. I think she has improved a good bit this year. She was winning a Group 3 last year in York. Third in Group 1 to Shaquille. But this year, second in the July Cup and second in the Queen Elizabeth to Cadam. And she gets out there and does her business. She's not afraid to put up a show from the start. She's very straightforward. She gets out there and says, "Catch me if you can." This was her here the last day. Now, that's in a Sheridan. I thought beat us fair and square.
From Art Power, and then came Jasur in his Sheridan. He's ridden along for more, and so too Van Dijk. River Tiber's weakening. Millstream staying on the far side, inside the final furlong. Jasur now mixes it up here with Swingalong. Millstream the far side, then came Art Power. Van Dijk and Inisherin both trying to run on. Well inside the final furlong. Millstream and Swingalong. Swingalong and Millstream, they hit the line. Millstream's won the July Cup from Swingalong, and then Van Dijk, Art Power, Inisherin and Jasur. Clear from...
Millstream is the form sprinter this year. Fifth and Dorville since 6.5, probably too fair. Swingalong 13-2 with a couple of bookies there, 5-1 each way played. They're paying 4 places. Brings us to. We'll say if you had anyone that wanted to do a lucky 15 or a Yankee, them 3, and we could stick in. We have 2 bus horses here in the one race. Bus horse meaning we tipped and won with it the last time. Harry's Hill and Transcendental. Transcendental is the selection. 2 for 2 in Navan, which is a plus. I prefer if it was 6 as a finisher, but the way it broke from the gates the last day. Get out of the stalls like a scalded cat. It was second to Harry's Hill the time before, but Harry's Hill was drawn in 1 in Bellestown. We were on Harry's Hill that day, but that closed. But Harry's Hill is better in Bellestown. If we look at that race in Bellestown, that's Harry's Hill. It broke great. This is the other one. It broke. It was in stall 13 that day, so it broke.
Yarrow sets off in pursuit, followed by Escaping the Jungle, who falls away, then Transcendental, and then comes only Spoofing Powder Boy, who is running on late ahead of Zara Ellis. But gone here is Harry's Hill from Transcendental, who's just winning the battle for second from Hero of the Yard. Harry's Hill from Transcendental in third place was Hero of the Yard.
Now if we look at Transcendental, this was it that day. It was over 6, but it had won it at 5 furlongs.
Montefino is next, trying to stay on his collective power ahead of Harry's Bar and Prophet Refused. Then Universally and Mayman, Ratbrand Church has dropped away tamely, and then Laugh a Minute. But it's Transcendental, the one they've got to go and peg back here from Montefino. Third is 7 Seas, then Collective Power and Universally. But it's Transcendental all the way, and yet another for Gavin Cromwell, ridden by Robert.
Up £10 for that. But it's still only £2 difference. It was given Harry's Hill £3 the day they met, and tomorrow it's given at 5. But if it breaks from, it's in stall 1. Robert Weirty rides again. Get it out, get it on the rail, get it home. Might do a small reverse forecast with Harry's Hill, but Harry's Hill is a front runner, but the other one is stronger over 6. So I think Transcendental it'll beat that tomorrow. Hopeful. Anyway, that'll be 4 if anyone wants to do a lucky 15 or a Yankee. Brings us to a 12-1 selection. It's a 2 mile. Race in Kempton. Now the favourite is Coco Royale, but I think that needs cut on the ground. If you look at when I won in Sandown, it was good to soft. It was good ground the last day, and it was beaten by Dancing in Paris. It won on soft ground in Yarmouth last year. When it ran in Kempton, it was 2nd and 5th, and 8th. And the selection, Banderas, likes Kempton, I think. But it didn't get a great... well, it just things didn't fall right for the last day. But have a look at its run when it was third to Robusto of 77. It went up £1 for that, wasn't it? Yeah, £1, and it remains on that rating. But it broke slow as hell out of the gate that day, out of the stalls. That's it with the white hat last coming around the turn front. But watch the way it runs on in the stretch.
Is Banderas, but this is the closing stages. They're in line for home. Clan Chieftain and Robusto still leading. They're being stalled by Enthrallment, who go for a run up the running road. Matazan behind these, sharp distinction in the maroon making progress. Mole Arthur on the way through. Banderas begins to pass horses. They head then down that last furlong. Robusto has taken a narrow lead. Clan Chieftain is in second place. Enthrallment behind those in third place. Banderas closing up on the outside. Robusto in front. Enthrallment trying to get him as they race to the line. Look out, Banderas, but Robusto has beaten Enthrallment, and Banderas is...
If you could keep him up closer to the pace tomorrow, he likes. He's a good old kick there. Kieran Schumacher, if you're watching, just keep him up closer to the pace and give him the twig earlier before you come to the... look at this lad. There's midges round me. See, presenting lad only again today. That's 3 times. It used to be an old horse of ours when I was back at... Remember I backed in Roscommon last year? There's won 3 times recently, and I had the shilling on it. Any of the 3 times. Fair play to them. Got 3 wins out of it. There was some other one today that I used to back, but I just had the ones that I picked last night. That's all I backed today. Anyway, I'll be back at base tomorrow night. We have Longchamp on Sunday. We have Bus Horse Supremo Sharian running. So in another Group 1. So it has won 3 for us lately, so I'll have to look to see what is it up against. It's up notable speeches in it, and I think O'Brien has sent the one over. We'll have to park the bus at the furlong pole to give it encouragement, the grey horse, as it's passing us by. I'll have to look at I might do it now for half an hour, 11:15. So bash the bookies, over and out.